Hello everyone, it's me again. Today I want us to go briefly through the Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. So let me open a blank one. Yeah, this is a blank Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. If you see from here, this is the home where you can cut, copy, you paste the layout. We have the new slides, we align text, we center them in the middle, we put them in other sides, we can number them. Here is the insert where we can put the likes of screenshots. We had a photo, pictures, tables. There we can also use the new slide. Here is for the design where we can put the background of the text we are writing. The transition, this is the style in which it will shift when it's going to another slide. The animations, this is just how the pattern it will disappear when we are shifting to another slide. Now when we come to the slideshow, this is where we customize our slide views. We can start playing it from the beginning or from somewhere. We can put the timings. Yeah, when we come to the review, this is where we can translate what we have text. We can translate the languages. We can correct our spellings, compare, and very many other things. When we come to view, this is the pattern in which our things get displayed as we switch over each other. So let's start off very fast as we go over it. So this is what we call slide. We come here to add new slides, to delete more slides we had from here. If you come here, you select the pattern, but if you click direct is where you had another slide. So the first slide here, let's say we are going to present. So the presenter. So the presenter, I'll use my name as the presenter, of course, Billy Raphael. Yeah. So if this one is small, we can highlight, we bold, and we even increase the size from here to make it appear in a way that we want, or even change the colors. So the second slide, so I want to talk about drag abuse. Yeah, the concept of drug abuse, because it's something so common among our youth nowadays. First of all, what is drug abuse? Drug abuse, this is an illegal use of drugs for what they are not meant for. Use of drugs for what they are not meant for, or in excess quantity. Yeah, that is briefly about or in excess quantity. Yeah, so members, this is about the drug abuse. Then we had another slide, we had a new slide. What are the causes of drug abuse? Yes, what are the causes of drug abuse? If you see the causes of drug abuse, one of them is permissiveness. What is permissiveness? This is just being there without anything to do, just being there. I could even say not bored, but being with nothing to do always. That is it. The second one is peer pressure. The next one is actually peer pressure. Peer pressure is one of the causes of the drug abuse. The next one we could say it's family conflicts. Family conflicts, there's times they also lead to actually the drug abuse. The first is the nature of environment you're staying in, the nature of the environment or your surrounding, the nature of the surrounding actually. The nature of your surrounding also determines whether you will be one of the addicts or not. Yeah. So I don't want to go so deep in it, but this I believe they are the major causes of it. There are more like unstable family background, socio-economic conflicts. There are actually just many, but that's what I feel briefly I should take. Actually, the causes also. Those are the causes. Now, in her next slide, we can look for the effects. We can go for the effects of drug abuse. Effect of drug abuse. So, the effects of drug abuse, they are quite many. Yeah, the effect of drug abuse, as we all know, they are actually the effects of drug abuse. They are actually quite many actually. It can give you suicidal thoughts. It leads to suicidal thoughts. Yeah, one of them is that it leads to suicidal thoughts. It leads to loss of memories. Leads to loss of memories. Yeah. When you overuse drugs, time will come when you have loss of memories. Thirdly, it's conduct problems. Conduct problems. When you start using drugs, there is that change that comes in a way you conduct yourself. The way you conduct yourself to others also changes automatically. Yeah, when you start using drugs, the way you conduct yourself changes. It leads to financial problems. This is simply because the money you'll be finding, you only use it for things that are not financial problems. The money you'll be using, you use it for things that are actually not so beneficial. Yeah. So those are the effects. So we can go through the prevention. Here we are going to talk about the prevention, how we can prevent it. So how can we actually prevent it? Yeah, how can we actually prevent it? How can we actually prevent it now? So in the prevention, let's write here is the prevention. How can we prevent? How can we easily prevent this one? So in the prevention, we can use support groups to communicate with people on the effects of those drugs and how they affect our body system in the way they work. The second one is medication assisted treatment. Medication assisted treatment. Yeah, in the medication assisted treatment, as we counsel someone, as we show them how to stay away from it. Yeah, we counsel someone and they are given ways how to stay away from it. The next one is education. Education and awareness. Yeah, the next is education and awareness. When we educate the youth and keep them aware of the effects of drugs, trust me, they will stay away from it because they know its effects are there. Yeah. The next one is counseling. Yeah, when you talk to someone, you counsel them, even those ones who are involved, they get time to leave it. Yeah. Now we go to how do we actually stop it. That will be our next type. Yeah, in her next slide, let's talk about it. How to actually stop yourself from being a culprit. How to stop. How do you stop this thing? First, know the people you surround yourself with. Know the people you surround yourself with. Know them very well and make sure those ones who use drugs are not so close to you. Number 2, know how to resist temptation. Have the power to resist temptation in a situation where you are surrounded between them. Know how to resist temptation. Know very well how you can resist the temptation. The third, learn how to cope with stress. Learn how to cope with stress. Learn how to cope with stress without using drugs. Learn how to cope with stress without using drugs, because stress is one of the causes of drug abuse. Other people take their stress rather to the use of drugs, which is very bad actually, which is very bad. Yeah. And let me add one. Now we make it 4. Avoid at all cost the places where these things are easily accessible. Avoid the places where you can access them easily, where they are easily accessible. Avoid them. Yeah. At all cost, please try and avoid them. Now, in conclusion, now here, in my conclusion, the use of drugs affects both our mental, social, and economic well-being. Yeah, it affects both our mental, social, and economic well-being. So let's abstain away from drugs, my dear viewers. They are the causes of very many things in our community. Many things are done under the influence of those drugs, which affects our mental system, and it even affects our social standards. So members, this is briefly what I can tell you about the PowerPoint presentation. This is briefly what I can tell you about the PowerPoint presentation. Then in our next video, we will be using the slide master to edit those ones. So members, thank you so much for your time. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment. I'm really looking forward to hearing them from you. Thank you so much. Have a blessed afternoon.